How familiar is that feeling to win a big road game, since you've done it now, obviously 28 consecutive times in a playoff series? Is it a familiar feeling? Is it something you soak in, or is it, what is it?
It's one of the best feelings in basketball, in the sense of figuring out a way to win in a hostile environment, and understanding, especially as a lower seed, but in any series, winning on the road is a big deal. It's hard to do. And then you add on the layer of how we've been on the road throughout the course of the regular season. So it was a big night for us, and you could feel the sense of accomplishment, after the game, from everybody on the bench, everybody on the floor. Just how good of a feeling it was. So obviously we got work to do to close out the series, but we needed this one. Snatch momentum back, and hopefully take advantage of it in Game 6.
Steph, was that you who started the Dre Nowitzki thing in the locker room, and just how big was he tonight?
He was awesome, like accepting his role, understanding how he can help us come out the bench, and he still plays 32 minutes, but he was everywhere. Offensively, the way that they're guarding us is huge for him to be aggressive. I know he wanted to finish better than he did, last game, and it looked like he knew right away those lanes would be there, and he was aggressive all night. That fadeaway was we've seen it before early in his career, and he works on it. But there's this kind of a flow to it. He knew he was the game said shoot, and he knocked it down. It was a big momentum play for us. So I joke with him, that might be the new, whenever the statues come down the road, that might be the new post.
Steph, you typically are the ones that catch some of the greats record-wise. But Loon tonight did something that Will has done here and Nate Thurman has done with your franchise in terms of 2 20-rebound games in the series. Just talk about him being in that neighborhood, and also just, I guess maybe it's an unappreciated art of rebounding, but his ability to be great at that.
It's special. I mean, like you said, those are 2 names that are in the rafters. And for him to join, any list with those 2 guys on there, it speaks to just how special of a player he is and what he's become. I guess what his the expectation of how he impacts games, at this stage of in the playoffs, and just how important that skill set is. I don't know how he does it. It's a relentless effort, but it's just a knack for knowing where to be, and just the attitude that every ball that comes out the rim is his. And for him to do, from Game 5 of the Memphis series, or Game 6 of the Memphis series last year, when he was back in the starting lineup and he had one of these type of nights where it became like Najawan or whatever they used to call it, whatever the nickname is, and what he's been able to do this series, like it's special. And we'd love to see more of it.
Steph, it is a very familiar situation to be closing out and the crowd's going away and silencing them. But to be able to do it with Draymond and Clay out there, you guys have been doing it for so long. And Draymond and Clay just kind of got a little sentimental, saying, that they really cherish it. And maybe as you get older, the fact that you're doing this with the same guys, which doesn't happen a lot in professional sports, just how special a feeling is that part of it?
It's everything, because each one of us have gone through a lot to try to sustain the level that we're at, and you hear all the talk about how long can we do it and whatnot, and our expectation to try to win championships. So I'm not saying that nights like tonight are anywhere compared to that, but they are a reminder of how hard it is to win at this level. Like you said, the reps that we've gone through over the course of a decade to, be the players that we are and, try to allow this journey to continue and not taking it for granted at all because, we're doing something that is very unique and is, something that could change at any point. And for us to be, in a position that we're still out there, still, creating results, like it's really dope. To think back of how it started and where we're at and how far we can take this.
Steph, as a shot maker, what are your thoughts when Clay hits the corner three and he basically lands in like the fourth row?
It's very Clay of him. Like he's, all he sees is that rim, and it's a surprise, but it's also not when shots like that go in because he's capable of it, and he had it going. I know he was dealing with foul trouble, and that was the only way to kind of stop him tonight. So, big shot. It's it's just Clay. Like that's what he does.
Steph, you guys, during the regular season, had a lot of guys in and out of the lineup. You had trouble finishing games at times, particularly on the road. To see the full, complete team effort tonight, the way you finished on the road, I know you believe in your team and you have confidence, but is it nice to see it kind of all come together on the court in a game like this?
Yeah, because we had the belief that we could, win a game like tonight and all the disappointments of the regular season, the first two games of this series. You didn't have much to show for that belief, and it's a message that you preach all year, like continue to learn the things that we need to learn, make the adjustments we need to, have the focus on what it takes to, close a game out like tonight, and then you end up, doing it. So, like I said, it's a big win because we got home court advantage back and, are one game away from getting out of the series. And also the context of everything that we've been through this year, it's just a good feeling. So, as much as we have accomplished, like this is a good reminder of, again, like I said before, how hard it is to win and what it takes to do it. And when you do it, like there's no better feeling.
Steph, in the end of fourth quarter, there was a position you dribble over the defense and hit the dagger and won. Then you kind of show your emotion to the crowd. Can you just talk about that play and what was going through your mind after that play?
I mean, I was just trying to run as much clock as possible and make sure we got a shot up and not turn it over, knowing that they were going to be attacking the ball and all over the place. So I just try to keep my dribble alive and run around and see if I could find some daylight, and eventually did. But before that, Draymond shot, Clay shot, Wiggs hit a big one down the stretch, Loon's offensive rebounds, and then our defense gave us an opportunity to, have the ball less than a minute and, be able to seal it like that. So everybody contributed, and, we had a moment after that layup to, really celebrate the win and silence the crowd, and, it was a great way to finish.
Steph, how would you describe the intensity of this series, and does it feel like, it's only the first round, but does it feel like you're deeper in the playoffs? You're only 4 or 5 games in right now.
No, it feels like a normal series. It's just we haven't been down 2-0 before, so, the last 3 games have had another level of sense of urgency and intensity in terms of, just excuse me, we had to play as close to perfect to get back in the series and not to be up 3-2. So playoffs is every game is a battle and takes everything out of you, and that's how it should be if you're trying to win, at the highest level. So it brings the best out of us, and we've responded pretty well, and we got to finish the job.
You seemed to search out Wiggins right after you hit that free throw late. Was that just about the shot he had hit the possession before?
Yeah, because he was the most assertive I think I've seen him all year in that one moment where he knew he had a matchup advantage and knew where he wanted to get a shot off. And I yelled at him in the locker room after the game. I was like, well, thank you for waving me off, because it just seemed like everything was decisive, and that's the biggest part of how we need to finish games is just, everybody being a threat and everybody being assertive and decisive about what they're trying to do. It was a big shot for us, so I wanted to show him some love, because I love when he shows that killer instinct. Like, it's big.
Go ahead.
Steph, so DeAaron Fox just got 7 points in the second half. Can you talk about what's the defense, what's key to the defense on him? How much do you like the defense down the stretch?
I mean, all series he's played amazing, and even the first half tonight. And there's only so much you can do with him in terms of he's going to get his looks. He has the ball in his hands a lot. He's, extremely fast, and you kind of have to live with some shots that he takes. And you just want to make it as difficult as possible on him all game. And, Draymond, Wiggs, GP, Dante, everybody who had kind of a turn at it, that's all you asked him to do. And it obviously worked in our favor tonight. And we got to do it again in Game 6, because I know he's going to come back and be as aggressive as he's probably been all season. So it takes a group effort, but those four guys usually get the matchup and get minutes at him, and they did a great job tonight.
Going back a couple questions when you were talking about how you guys haven't had a lot to show for you guys feeling like you've been improving on the road or just in different areas. Steve said, yeah, this is a very different team than it was a couple months ago. So I'm just curious of how do you view this as a different team than it was a couple months ago?
I think defensively we're a lot better. We've keyed in on kind of the principles of what makes a good defense, and then when we were able to rebound like we did tonight, keep our turnovers relatively in control. Like, our offense is usually in good position then to give us life on the road, and you're able to close out games a lot better. So I think just the confidence and everybody who's out there knowing what to do, the togetherness. Even when a team makes a run, like early in the season, I think we were a little fragile at those moments where we didn't really respond the way we were supposed to. But tonight kind of demonstrated the exact opposite. So every game you have to prove that and continue to bottle up that effort.
Just a quick follow-up. I mean, how big of an impact or much has Gary Payton's return and then just having Andrew Wiggins consistently be back now kind of factored into, especially on the defensive end, as you're talking about?
I mean, it's huge because we're constructed in a certain way where we're all, the pieces fit, especially, our the balance of defensive-minded guys that know how to move the ball, move their bodies in space, and to have those two guys available, it's been huge for us, and there's an experience level that comes with it too, of what we've been all accomplished together. So the fact that GP's been back after the trade and healthy, and Wiggs back in the fray, like, you feel whole, and that's what we needed.
Special reminder for fans for start time on Friday.
Oh yeah. Make sure y'all get y'all butts in the seats at 5 o'clock tip off. It's a little early, but everybody get off of work early in the Bay. Let's go.
Perfect.